Good morning, everyone. I'm back once again on this 18th, Wednesday the 18th of June 2025. And look at the sky. Well, look at the clouds, I should say. Look at all this ripple effect that we pretty much saw last night. Look at it. Isn't it incredible? Now, personally, I don't know what this name of this cloud is, so this is a learning curve for me. Is it to do with, excuse me, oh god, it's like 5:30 in the morning, I'm knackered. I got up and I was like, do you know if there's any chemtrails out? And I saw this. I thought it'll be pretty good to actually quickly do a video on it. But yeah, I'm not sure what cloud this could be and what can actually cause this to create this ripple effect in the sky. I'm not jumping to the conclusion that the fact this is done on purpose by Harp Cloud. You know what I mean, man? I just am a bit like, let's see if we can track this back years ago. Alright, I'm going to take a picture right now and then we'll put a comparison side by side. In fact, I'll put it up there now so you can see. What is this? But it's very interesting, isn't it? For this 5:30 in the morning. There we go, look at that. Right, I'll catch you in a short time. Right, a short time has passed. And the trailiness has pretty much passed. But I did notice there's a trail in the background now. Look, there it is. If it's really bad of trails, normally they'll be quite rampant at this time. Right about 6 o'clock. But it's not, so it might be one of those days like it's been the past couple of days. It's really hazy with white cirrus in the mix of trails. So there we go. Right, got one trail for the time being. Right, we have some trails in the background here, and that plane's just flying past right now, and it's worth actually checking out this white haze. Let's track this aircraft. Okay, first one here is United Airlines from New York to London. Well, you've got two aircraft flying and it's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, definitely that one for sure. We've got two of them, look at that. We've actually got two in a row. Okay. So maybe it will be a traily day, but it's not going from like horizon to horizon like this. Do you know what I mean? So far it's hard to tell, but it's left this. And we are practically 6:20 in the morning. So it'll be interesting to see what happens today. I have returned to, yes, the trails in the sky. Right, okay. We have a decent run so far. So as this is going to be a fantastic week, it's going to reach 28 degrees, which let's say it's not normal for England. Well, it does happen. It is rare. It happen in spring, summertime. X marks the spot, as one would say. But nevertheless, this is perfect opportunity, like I said, that the fact that today is going to be a fantastic week with weather, where the temperature is going to be rising. Like I said, it's going to be about 23 and it's going up to like 28. So if we're going to have clear skies, surely the powers that be must be spraying the skies to actually dim the sun. So I will keep my eyes to the skies. And we need to observe what we're really seeing. Okay, we have trails, but we also have this white haze as well, which we saw pretty much in the morning. Nevertheless, are these trails going to block out or dim the sun? This is the experiment I'm doing. Is it going to dim the sun? And I will track all the trails on the satellite just to see if it's like absolutely rampant. I just want to see how much this is actually spreading. This ain't going to dim the sun. It needs to be like this. You see all these trails from horizon to horizon? That's what I'm talking about. Those are the days that are really important. But this is just very, very poor, small amount of trails. But I understand why people want to point the camera up into the sky because they see a load of trails in the sky. But again, not sufficient enough to actually dim the sun. Might be wrong. I like to be proven wrong. I'm always happy to be proven wrong. And be like, right, okay, I can actually learn from something from here. But just for me to say this has been sprayed on purpose to dim the sun is just really nonsensical because it's not really going to do it. However, we do have a plane doing its rounds. Should we track the aircraft and see what this aircraft is? Apologies for the audio going a bit funny. I will sort that out at some point. But I cannot find this aircraft anywhere on location. Nope, I can't find it, which is a bit unusual. Well, I'm gonna say it's unusual, but there's some aircraft that cannot be found. But it's not leaving a persistent trail. I'm just going to show you. That's the unidentified aircraft I can't find. But it's definitely starting to go traily for sure. Zoom back a bit. Let's have a look. There we go. Okay. Perfect. Lovely. We're making a good start to the day. Thing is, trails don't upset me or get pissed off or angry. I'm done with that stuff. When you've been doing this for nearly 20 years, 18 years, since all the way back in 2007, 8, you know, you could become a bit numb to it. It's like fucking the wife you're not attracted to anymore. It's just like, okay, chemtrails, all right, here we go. Here's missionary. Short time has passed. We are coming up to... Just gone past 7:30 in the morning. So far. Do you think these trails are going to last throughout the day? I'm going to be honest with you. As soon as I start seeing this white haze disappearing, and I think these trails might disappear. Might be, I don't know. This is going to be a prediction episode. So let's analyse the skies, what we have so far. What can we observe in just a very small portion of the sky, what I'm really observing. And let's observe what we're seeing in the sky with the trails, because we need to observe what these trails are actually doing. Hence the time-lapse camera will kind of tell us, really. Time has passed. Right, the trails, obviously they're a bit thicker than we've been seeing in the past week or couple of weeks. They're a bit more denser. Whether or not they're actually going to dim the sun, this will obviously be a perfect day to sort of analyse and see what it actually does. Now, in terms of the temperature, it's going to be quite hot. I think it's about that. I'm going to put the screenshot of what the temperature is supposed to be. So we'll see whether or not these trails make any difference whatsoever. That's a pretty thick trail, isn't it? Pretty big. And I'll do the best to track the aircraft as much as possible. But yeah, so far, this is what it's like. Coming up to 9 o'clock. And here is a pan of the sky. These two trails have been quite rampant in terms of how much they're spreading out. Now these two trails here are a lot thicker than we normally see in the past couple of weeks. This is very dense, okay? Remember I was talking about the definition between the trails spreading out. Yes, it kind of looks like a cirrus, but it kind of looks like what would be like altocumulus or cirrocumulus. That's what I noticed. One thing I need to do today is to track these trails over my area. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think this is gonna last throughout the day. I do believe it might go clear. And then, and this is my prediction, it's gonna go traily in the evening. So when I come back from boxing later, we should see a bunch of trails in the sky. What are the chances? Because the Met Office says this. We're going to have clear skies. And the temperature is this. I don't know yet until I get the screenshot up. But yeah, it's one of those days. Is those trails there? That's quite interesting, isn't it? By the time that's spread out, the time lapse, I've not seen it. But I just want to see the bulk of it. But I just want to see the bulk of it. Actually, got one trail here. Coming right up. Let's see what is actually the aircraft. Right. What we got here is this aircraft right here. It's traveling from New York to Frankfurt. We have this one here, which is Boston to London. So it's a tricky one, really, which one is actually given off that trail. But nevertheless, the ones that are traveling about 25,000 feet is given off a trail. However, I have seen other aircraft around about that distance not given off that trail, but is in the proximity of that white haze, which kind of makes no sense. And here is the aircraft. It's given off that trail there. And this is what we would call X marks the spot. Whether or not it's going to give off the same quality as this trail, because it might be a bit higher. Yeah, this aircraft looks like it's quite high up. Yeah. There you go. X marks the spot. Are these trails gonna dim the sun? Today is perfect to answer that question. It's a close-up shot so far in the distance of what these trails are more or less doing. It's all blended in, so it's kind of hard to tell what's natural, right, and what's been sprayed. So yeah, those two trails, that's the ones that I showed earlier. That is basically going to be, within time, definitely blended into that white haze in the background. So you see it needs to be loads of trails and not like little bits. It needs to be completely rampant like this and not like this. Do you know what I mean? It's very lackluster at the moment. We do have a bit of cirrus there, and we do have more trails here. So I don't know, it could last throughout the day, but you can see where the bulk of this white haze is. So yeah, there we go so far. Remember I said earlier that it might go clear? Well, if you look up, this is exactly what's happened. Oh, look, a cloud. Air in air. Right, what we've got so far is that a little bit of trails, just a little bit. But look, it's beautiful. So what was all about that earlier? I think it's worth checking the satellite. check this out. Look at it. It's beautiful. Okay, got one small cloud up there. But all in all, it's really nice. We finally have clear skies. But it's not over yet. We're still, I think, like 1:15. We've still got a bit of time. You would have thought now it's a bit like the peak period of where, I won't say the peak period of where the hottest temperature is on this day. I mean, that's normally around about like 2-3 o'clock. So we might have some trails. Actually, here's my prediction. I think I said this. That I reckon there'll be trails forming near the end of this evening. What are the chances of that? But this ripple effect, you saw that last night. And you saw it this morning as well. But once again, it can be a lovely week. It's supposed to be 28 tomorrow. It's 25 today, and I can feel that heat, baby. It's beautiful. Look at my sunflowers behind me. Look at that. And all my plants are growing lovely. So when I keep on hearing the weather's been manipulated 24/7, I don't think so. Okay, that's more... No offense to the people who think that, you know, you're entitled to your own opinion, but that's more conspiracy theory thought. Me, I need a rational thought, and this is why I do these videos. But nevertheless, I don't want to bitch. I'm not bitching. I think I have to go get a nice coffee at the golf course. So I'm back at the golf course with a clear blue sky. So what's all this about? Of people on Chemtrail Facebook page would rather post pictures of what they think is weather manipulation, and they get really angry, really aggressive, really uptight about it. But vast majority of the time, guys, it turns like this. Nice. Over the past 3 years, really analysing the skies and see what these trails are doing, they are not, and I repeat, they are not blocking out the sun. I'm not denying chemtrails. I'll keep saying I'm not denying it, and I'm not denying they have done it in the past, some sort of experimentation. But not every single trail we see in the sky is a chemtrail. Really? So they sprayed chemtrails, what, to make it nice like this? It's beautiful weather. It's like 25 degrees. I'm sat, you know, baking my ass off at the moment. You know, it's hot. It's really nice. So what was all that about earlier? It seems to me that a lot of people are really jumping to conclusions that the whole day has been ruined. No, it hasn't. Look. It's sexy as fuck. Come out, enjoy the weather, touch some grass. See this grass here? Touch it. You know, enjoy nature. It's not all bad. It's not all bad, trust me on that one. And this is someone who looks at the sky constantly for the past, well, since the past 4 years, really analysing the skies. And in fact, the past couple of years, really focusing on and getting a lot of material, a lot of photographs, and really trying to get a realistic perspective. And just don't jump to conclusions. I mean, people say that I do the same thing, but at the same time I'm actually backing it up by photographs and even like video footage and stuff like this. So you're getting a whole perspective of what I'm really looking into. So yeah, once again, as we are, hold on, we're coming up to 1:45 to beautiful blue sky, and it's sexy as fuck. Back once again. Oh my god, look at it, chemtrail galore. Chemtrails everywhere. Yeah, sure. Beautiful. Look, turn on the camera. I think I'm going to sneeze. Yeah, here we are, look at that. Blue sky. Fantastic. I am back. I'm really sorry for the constant whining noise coming from that alarm. We just had a power cut. It always sends that alarm off. But anyway, today has been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Beautiful, hot, sunny, clear, blue sky. Bit traily in the morning. Nevertheless, it was pretty damn good. Tomorrow it's going to be about 30 degrees. And I best be spraying because they need to block out that sun, darling, for our benefit. For our benefit. Right, pop back in a bit. Hopefully that bloody llama stop. My time lapse stopped because it got too hot, and it's actually getting even hotter tomorrow. So I've got to keep an eye on that. But for the whole day has been blue sky. Now that's not manipulated on purpose, is it? No, of course not. Fantastic day. It was like 25 degrees and it's like 30 degrees tomorrow. It's going to be a hot one. So tomorrow will be a perfect opportunity to do it. And I'm going to keep my eyes to the skies. I'm going to wake up early tomorrow. I've got to water my garden anyway. I haven't done that today. Been busy. And yeah, I'll come back tomorrow for another conclusion. Let's just roll through the time lapse. Honestly, it's pretty pointless. It's probably going to take like 3 minutes anyway to go through because it was, like I said, crystal clear blue sky. And I actually stopped at some point because it got too hot. It does that. So yeah, anyway, follow me on Investigate with Nick and the Cosmic Twilight. I'll see you very soon. As I'm editing the video, I might as well go through the time lapse and just find out what happened for the remainder of the day. I have to admit, what a fantastic day. And as I'm editing this video, it's going to be 30 degrees. I mean, it's just gone past 10 o'clock in the morning and it's over 20 degrees already. And yeah, like I said, it's going to be a hot one. And so far, it's crystal clear blue sky. And this is what happened after this white haze and all the trails started to form in the sky. So let's just have a look. Let's speed it up a bit. Because this was the first thing in the morning, this stripy effect. And I did notice that. If you go back to my previous, I can't remember what part it was. I think it was like part 14. You can see that this stripy effect started to appear in the evening. And the night time lapse, I didn't pull it through for you guys because you can't really see anything. It was mostly in the mornings. Thing is, this ripple effect, is it going to be changing the weather? I mean, to be honest with you, it hasn't really affected anything because after that ripple effect happened, yes, we had these trails, but then it went completely clear. So at this time period, you can see I was filming the skies and all these trails started to come into fruition. Now, once again, let's track the trails, which I will do in a minute to show you the satellite. But all in all, and I think it's worth mentioning as well, that the fact you got a lot of this white haze that starts to form in certain areas, and a lot of people are contributing that to basically chemtrails. Right, you see here with the cursor, I'm just going to point in the direction so you can see where there's a lot of this white haze has been coming in. So these trails, yes, they do spread out, but they're not really dimming the sun in that time period, in that morning. It was very, very short time span these trails started to come into fruition. Like they're very faint. Yes, these ones like got quite big. I remember that with the X marks spot on this one here. So check this out here. See what I mean? You just got a massive buildup of cloud. And because you've got trails persisting in that area, people contribute that to be part of the trails. And it's not. Look, let's back it up. See where the cursor is in the middle of the screen? That cloud is forming naturally. And people are contributing this to the trails. And this is where people are misidentifying stuff. This is only through me looking through this time lapse and going, no, actually, no. A lot of this white haze forming, and you should see something pop up soon on the bottom right-hand corner here. You see this stretchy, that is it here, that stretchy long cloud. And I thought that was chemtrails, this here. Let's just go back. But it's not. But this is what I would consider as a cirrus cloud. Because it's in the vicinity of this white haze and where the trail is, people contribute as it to be part of the trail. And this is what people are misidentifying, is that this white haze here is part of this trail. And the truth is, it's a naturally formed cloud. And you can see another one coming up here. And you can see this natural cloud starts to form out of nowhere. This area here, let's just go back. I want to see whether or not that is part of the trails. Okay, actually, let's go back a bit more. Right on the corner here, you can see this massive buildup of cloud. I'm going to be honest with you, because the trails are quite short. Okay, you got a trail there for sure. That's been blended in. But you see how big it starts to stretch out? I think that's a natural cloud and not a trail being persisted in that area. See the difference between that and that? So the people on Chemtrail Facebook page will literally take a picture of this and contribute all of this white haziness to do with so-called chemtrails. And the truth is, it isn't. This is a naturally formed cloud and it's all backed up right here. You can actually see it. And yes, I know the trail spread out and this could be all spread out in the distance. But if you look through the satellite, which I'm going to show you, you can see it's nothing to do with it. And a lot of this white haze you can see forming naturally. And that's just for me observing this. And by all means, you can check this out for yourself if you go to Investigate with Nick. This is on the 18th of June 2025, and you can see that a vast majority of white haze is naturally formed and nothing to do with so-called chemtrails. See the trail here? Very, very faint. It looks like it's about to dissipate, to be honest with you. Yeah, in fact, that trail there, you can see, actually dissipated. And at this time period, you can see that it started to clear up. I'm going to skip ahead here so you can see for yourself for the remainder of the day, it was clear sky all the way into the evening until you find out on the next part on this day, which is on the 19th, which is quite interesting. So there we go. That's a really interesting analysis here because the trails in the morning were extremely bad. But did it block out the sun? Again, it didn't. I understand the points I'm trying to come across here. And a lot of what people are witnessing in the sky, because obviously they're quite new to sky watching, they don't really know what they're actually seeing and observing in the sky. And what I'm showing you here through the time lapse, and I think it's very important, you can see that a vast majority of this white haze is naturally formed cloud and nothing to do with the spraying of the skies. And it seemed to be pretty pointless just to spray in the morning because it didn't really do anything. I'm just going to prove a point here. What I have here is the satellite feed over England. And through the duration of the day, I've recorded, as I'm going to show you right here, what the trails actually did. Bear in mind, it's not the best quality, but you can make out the trails. And I think it's worth really going through and analyzing what these trails have done. So the time period here is at 4:20 a.m. on the 18th of June 2025. Let's pay attention to see what these trails are doing. You can see it forming. So this is 10 to 7, and that's where the trails were really rampant. Remember? Okay, this is going all across the southwest here. Okay, so I'm around this area here, and it's going all the way across London. So the people on Chemtrail Facebook page who are living in this area would have taken the same thing that I was seeing. All right, keep going ahead. Now there's a lot of trails happening. But what is it really doing? You can see it coming all the way to the top of France, or possibly into Germany. But the vast majority of England at that time became quite clear. It's going to go back again. So here's the trails, and then moving east here. And it left England in a completely beautiful blue sky day. Okay. I'm going to zoom out from here because I want a proper analysis of what these trails are actually doing and where they're actually going. So I want to focus on this area here, the southwest. I'm going to look towards like Amsterdam and Brussels. You see a lot of trails there. See it? Look at all that. Okay. Let's click play. Right, I'm going to stop there. Right, look at all the trails. This is 10 past 7 in the morning. That's where the height, the peak of the trails were. I want to focus on this area as these trails are going this way and have a look to see what they do. Do you really think that's going to dim the sun? Here it is here. Here it is here. Tracking it, tracking it. It doesn't seem to be doing anything. I've just gone back again just to show you. So this is from 4:30 in the morning. Let's zoom out even more so you can see a more landscape view. So this area here to focus on. Here are the trails. And it looks like it just dissipates. It doesn't really do anything. And bear in mind, at the height of the trails you can see here, look at England. How is that small portion of the southwest being covered in trails going to make any difference to the whole temperature of Europe? It's not there to block the sun out. It's just not there. We need to start critically thinking here. And look at the trails, look. And it's just blocking out that very small portion of the sun, dimming it. What about the whole rest of the world? Do you understand? I don't think people are really grasping the concept here. But once again, the point I'm trying to prove is, look, these trails right here, you can kind of see they really do nothing. They sort of blend in with this like cirrocumulus cloud, I would call it. It's just a point I'm just trying to prove, all right? Look through the satellite. So there we have it. We've looked through the satellite and you can see, look, these trails didn't really do anything. So a lot of people got angry and upset in the morning and it kind of ruined their day for no apparent reason because it ended up being quite nice. And there are days like that, okay? And today it's 30 degrees as I'm speaking right now, and it's beautiful weather and it's clear blue sky. So it's not exactly manipulated on purpose to make it clear. Do you know what I mean? But yesterday was a very clear example. Just don't trust anything that people say on Chemtrail Facebook page because weather changes. And that was a very clear example of how it can be extremely traily, bad with chemtrails, if you want to call it that, in the morning, but can actually end up being quite nice. And if the powers that be want to block the sun out, now is your perfect opportunity. So do your worst. Well, not really, because it's clear blue sky outside. anyway, we should continue doing this trail analysis videos, and I shall see you very soon on A Cosmic Twilight and Investigate with Nick. I'll see you very soon.